We have so many people here that were colleagues of Fred, both as students and then as faculty at the Eastman School of Music. And this next person we'll bring up, Mark Kellogg, whom I know that almost everybody in this room must know Mark Kellogg. If you go to any RPO concerts, or if you've been a Rochester music supporter for any length of time, you know this man. You know what a giving person he is. I'm going to have him introduce this next piece and also say a little bit about Fred. This was a piece that was written by one of Mark's colleagues when he was a student at the Eastman School of Music. A young writer at the time named Jeff Beal, who has made an incredible career in Hollywood writing for film and television. Amazing musician and writer, trumpet player. And so please help me welcome to the front of the stage, Mark Kellogg.
What a wonderful energy there is in the room tonight, right? It's just so nice. Yeah. And special thanks, of course, to Bill and to Mark for making that all possible and corralling and harnessing all these energies. So it's a really special thing to be a part of. There are just a couple, as Jim has said, Jim Dozer said just a few seconds ago, there are a lot of stories that one could tell about Fred. And again, to echo Jim, I won't do don't do too many of them because they're not for this kind of crowd. But there is one thing I will say, that for those of you who knew Fred, Fred was a man of rather large carriage, and he was kind of a big guy. Yeah, I'm trying to be subtle about this. And so when I first met Fred in the fall of '83, as we were students at Eastman School, and he was coming from Wisconsin, brought his family to do his residency for a year at the Eastman School to finish his master's degree. Fred was actually the first vegetarian that I had ever met. Okay? So we got talking one day, and he was great. He was he was an older student than I was, but he was so kind, so generous, so gentle, so giving, and those are traits that he would, exhibit for everyone throughout the course of his professional and personal life. So I remember one time thinking, boy, most vegetarians I know are a lot smaller than you are. And his line to me was, Mark, a cheesecake is not a meat product. So Fred could be very self-effacing and not take himself particularly serious, which I think we would all agree is a very endearing quality. At the same time, he always took other people seriously. He always treated other people with tremendous respect, whether they were colleagues, students, people who worked on staff at the Eastman School, whether they were janitorial folks or they were people who worked in the dean's office. It didn't matter. Everybody got treated the same way, with a tremendous amount of respect, and that's something that was always very inspiring and helpful to me to see his example. Yet another thing. I think that nobody could quite get a big band to sound quite like Fred could. He had an incredible ability to expect great things and kind of demand great things from any ensemble that he was in front of, while at the same time doing it with incredible compassion, doing it with incredible understanding of what made each individual person tick and inspired them was a little different. And so he could do it with such positive energy that it was really always very, very, very infectious. And I could go on and as just about everybody up here could. I won't, but I will just say one last thing, and that is that I'm so sorry that Susie and Maddie are not able to be with us tonight, because along with Ike, it's such a tremendous, and of course all of Ike's extended family and the significant honors in Maddie's life as well, are such an incredibly wonderful unit and have such a wonderful spirit about them. And if those of us who have the good fortune to be parents, I think we could all safely say that if our most important legacy is our children, well, Fred and Susie hit it out of the park, that's for sure. So it's great that Ike is able to be here, and while we miss Susie and Maddie, we're glad that they'll be able to enjoy this presentation a little bit later. The the piece that we're going to play right now is I'm playing on this instrument, the euphonium, and the reason I'm playing it on the euphonium is because that was Fred's original instrument. And when I was asked to play something, I thought, oh, why not honor Fred by playing something on the youth? So we're going to play this wonderful arrangement that Jeff Beal did for the Eastman Jazz Ensemble back in the 1984-85 school year on the great Joe Beam tune, How Insensitive.